Hi there, how are you doing this afternoon? As you can see, I'm in my new place, and if you haven't seen any of my videos in the last couple of weeks, this might be the first time you've seen my new place. And I do have a short video on one of my channels that actually shows me walking through it. So if you want to see that, I will try and link it up there for you. Right then. Today we are talking about I'm trying to answer 5 self-publishing questions that people have asked me about, or they're general questions that come up quite often when people are usually people who are writing their first fiction book. And that is really exciting, especially if you're getting towards the end of it, because yeah, it's getting close to that period of time when you will be uploading it probably to Amazon. Just quickly, for those of you who don't know me, if this is the first time you've been on my channel, then welcome. My name's Lisa Oliver. I am an MM paranormal romance author, which means I write about furry men and fanged men and magical men falling in love with other men. I have been supporting myself from my writing for the past 8 years, and I truly love what I do, which is why I have this channel to try and help you do it too. So let's get on with the questions. The first one is, how soon should I get my cover graphics done? And the reason why that particular question is important is because you will notice in a lot of my videos that I'll say, you've got to get your book done first. And that is true. If you have not got a finished manuscript, you've got nothing to publish. So you don't have to worry about self-publishing anything. You need to have your story finished first. But getting your cover done along the way is not a silly idea. If you have watched my video on the step-by-step marketing for self-publishers, which I will link up here, somewhere up here. I never quite know where that goes. It's probably on the other side. If that is something that you have been watching, then you'll know that one of the things I talk about is pre-promotion, which is promoting your book before it goes live. Because if you can build anticipation for it and excitement for it, then obviously you're going to make more sales when it does go live, which is then where you put your book on pre-order, which we will discuss later. And one of the helpful things to do that is to have a cover graphic. So I personally don't like to make my cover graphics until my book is finished. But that is because I am a pantser writer, and sometimes my characters go off script and they do something different. And maybe the cover design that I had thought about originally might not apply by the time the book's finished. Another thing is, of course, though, for somebody like me, I write genre fiction, so I did get away quite a lot. I can get away with a nice bare torso on the cover and some sort of moody background that suggests something that was going on in the book itself. If you are a subscriber to my channel, later on this week, I am actually showing you how I make a cover in Canva. So I can't link that video yet because it'll obviously be scheduled, but that is something for you to look out for on my channel if you are interested. But going back to the question, how soon should it be done? I would have suggested that if you look at it at the timeline for writing and then putting out a book, if you have just about finished writing it and you want to put it up on pre-order, and you are in the process of sending your book to the editor, then that is a good time to get your cover done. Now, I'm going to qualify that by saying I do know authors who have their covers done before they've even started the book. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's kind of rather necessary for you to have the book finished before you can use that cover. And I would hate to see you waste any money if you've had somebody do those covers for you and paid for it. So, but realistically, in my timeline, I would send my book to the editors because that takes time. And then I would create my cover and I would start using that cover to promote my book, to create that it's coming soon vibe for my newest release. So that's how I would do it in the timeline. Okay. The second question, and this is one that seems to bug people so much, because the most important part, if you're going to have a cost involved in self-editing, or in self-publishing, I mean, it will be the editors, okay? I pay money for editors. Everybody, well, a lot of authors I know pay money for editors. But a lot of readers, or a lot of new authors, I should say, struggle to find where they can find an editor that will work for them for a price they can afford. Now, firstly, there are ways of getting free editors. You might have friends at a local college. You might have friends at a local university. You might have a friend who's a teacher. You know, look to your inner circle first. Look to your friends and family, because chances are there might be somebody there who'd be prepared to edit your book for you for at least the first couple of times. If that doesn't work, have you been following my marketing guidelines, and have you been friending authors? Because now would be a really good time to say to an author, hey, I really enjoyed your last book, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, I didn't see a mistake in it. It was perfectly edited. Please tell me who you work with, and are they cost effective? You can do that. Another thing, if you're a little bit shy and you don't want to talk to other authors on social media, then that's fine too. But usually, if you go to the beginning of any book that you enjoy in your genre, there is usually a dedication or something that will list the person who edited the book. So, and if you are looking for somebody who's got quite reasonable rates, and I'm just doing a little tiny plug here, but my daughter's business, Publication Pixie, which I will link down below, she does book editing for new authors too, and she is very friendly and easy to get on with. But anyway, those are 3 different ways that you can look for or find an editor, and that is by looking to your inner circle of friends and family, or approaching authors online and asking them, or, you can also join writers' groups, because especially if they're in your genre, because chances are somebody else will have asked the question about who can recommend an editor. And then finally, you can look in the books you enjoy reading. They've clearly been edited well, and look to see who the author is giving credit to or acknowledging, and then following that up on social media to find that editor and approaching them directly. Question number 3. Why do authors use pre-orders? Now, this used to be just on Amazon. Amazon, as far as I was aware, was the only place that would allow you to do pre-orders. But now I see that since Smashwords has teamed up with Drafted Digital, they have been offering pre-order for some time as well. Pre-order's not really important, but there is nothing wrong with you putting out your book as soon as it's ready and it's all done, and just uploading it, and it comes out when it's gone through Amazon's machine. But it can be really useful to put your book on pre-order in terms of marketing and the ranking of your book. So let me explain. When I talk about my marketing system, and remember that video's already been linked up there so that you can have a look, you want to be able to tell your readers when to expect it to come out. So if you put your book up on pre-order, then you've got a date. You know what day it's going to come out. And Amazon will let you know if that date's available and if you can do that. And then all of your marketing efforts can be geared towards that date, in that you would have the coming soon graphics and promotions. Then on the day you would have It's Live, a live day. You might do an author event. You might do all sorts of things on the day your book goes live. And then, of course, after that, of course, then you're doing your promotions in It's Out Now. So having that date can be really important and useful for your marketing strategy. And the second thing is just a little thing. But if you have your book on pre-order, particularly if you're a new author, then you are not likely to get a lot of sales unless you are doing extensive marketing. In which case, all the sales that you do get up to the day the book comes out, they all show as a sale against your book over one 24-hour period. And that can help boost your book up into the genre rankings. Now, clearly, it can also work for the Amazon overall book rankings, but in your genre rankings, which is, where most authors sort of aim to hit the top 20, having all those sales come out within a very short space of time, that first 24 hours, can really help push your book up into those rankings. And if it can get up into the top 20 of any particular subgenre, then people look at those. Amazon have the pages for their top 100, and it's divvied up in 20s. So if you're in the top 20 of your subgenre on Amazon, then your book is going to show on the first page. And that is always a handy marketing tip in itself. It's a handy marketing tool. So that is 2 reasons why authors use pre-order. Now, question number 4 is something that I struggled a bit with when I first started writing. And it's namely that does your book need formatting before it goes on Amazon? And the short answer is no. If you have written in Word, done a Word document, DOCX file extension, and it has the standard Windows, the Word margins, which are what usually I think are an inch all round, and you are using a standard font like Times New Roman 12, and you've got relative, paragraph spacing and what have you, there is no reason why your book can't just go up as it is, and Amazon will format it into the Mobi format necessary for its books, or EPUB, or whatever else it is it's doing now, and it doesn't matter. The only time formatting books becomes important, and I didn't realise this until I started working with JP Sayle, who's another fantastic author, is in the print copy. And for our books, you may have noticed if you've purchased a paperback of any of the books we've written jointly, and I'm still waiting for my copies to come, JP has a formatter who creates amazing interior graphics for the first page and for around the chapter headings, the chapter numbers and things like that. And because we write about shifters, so she might have a kraken around one number or a bear around another or whatever else. And so we do, she does do that, and that does cost extra money. But I have to admit, when JP, we were having our video call a couple of weeks back, and JP showed me her copy because hers had arrived, it looked incredible. So if you want to spend that money on formatting for print copies, then by all means go ahead. But quite honestly, if you are a genre writer, then you're not going to sell a huge amount of paperback, so you need to work out for yourself whether or not it's worth the money. I can't remember off the top of my head what we pay for ours, but as I say, it looks incredible in the paperback copies, but it really doesn't make a lot of difference at all to the ebook version. So, you need to weigh that up. But quite frankly, if this is your first book and you're wanting to just get it out there because you want to know if people are interested in your stories, then you really don't need to pay the money on formatting. And quite honestly, I would recommend that you don't. Just use the basic margins, headings, and fonts that are found in Word, that are the Word default settings, and you will be fine. Okay, and finally, which leads on to a question, how much does it cost to self-publish? And again, that answer is like as long as a piece of string, which makes no sense whatsoever. But quite honestly, I published probably the first 20 of my books, I suppose. I can't remember when I first started buying cover model photos. But yeah, it doesn't cost you much. It doesn't have to cost you anything at all. If you can find a friend to edit, and you're quite happy to source your graphics for your cover, and you can make that yourself, and you're sourcing your graphics for your cover for free, then, and you're quite happy to do your own promotion, then it doesn't cost you anything to self-publish. Amazon itself doesn't cost you anything to put a book up on Amazon, not at all. And that's whether you want to put it up as an ebook, a soft cover, or a hard book cover now. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm thinking about it. So yeah, it doesn't cost anything if you can do the work yourself. So on the flip side of that, if you want to invest the money, you want the most amazing cover money can buy, and you want, 1,000 master's students to go over your work before you put it out, and you're prepared to pay, you can spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. My answer, my question to you then would be, why are you doing that? Or more to the point, why are you watching my channel? Because my channel is for people who want to get by, who want to make a living at what they do. And quite honestly, you can spend $1,000 on a cover, or you can spend nothing at all on a cover, and there's really no way of ever knowing which one was best or which one had the money spent on it. It really is. It's got to do with your genre. It's got to do with how well you are at graphic design. I mean, I personally am useless at graphic design, but people have gotten used to my covers, and now they look for them, because there are certain things that I do on my covers pretty much all the time. So I have branded myself with covers that I've made myself. And so the only cost for my covers is if I have bought cover model pictures, or the rights to use cover model pictures, which I have in the past from the wonderful Paul-Henri Serres, who is an amazing photographer and has a wonderful gallery of men in his on his website. And yet I have also paid for cover model photos on places like Shutterstock and Dreamstime. And on the odd occasion, I have found free cover model pictures on places like Pixabay. So, in terms of cover models, I find what I need and I pay accordingly, but I've been doing this for 8 years and make a lot of money with what I do. For you, if you're on a shoestring budget, it is possible to self-publish entirely for free. You get your editing done by a friend or family member. You get a cover created. You do it in somewhere free that you can use on a 30-day trial or something like that. There is a Photoshop, I think a free Photoshop version online. And please don't ask me what it's called, because I actually pay Photoshop subscription services. But, there are free ways of doing it. And if you're interested in me doing a video on how you can self-publish completely for free and go through the step-by-step process, then let me know in the comments below, and I will I'll make a video up for you and actually show you how it's done. But anyway, for now, I am going to show you how to, I think one of the later graphics I've got, I am doing a video this week, which will be coming out in a couple of days, on how much it will cost you to self-publish, just going into this question in a bit more depth, because that seems to be the biggest bugbear that people have, and it's also where the biggest sources of misinformation are. So I will be talking about that again. And I'm also going to be doing another video this week on, I'm going to try and have a go at making a cover in Canva. I've never done it before, but it's everybody talks about Canva. And I just want to show you just how easy it can be to make a cover. So I'm going to give it a go in Canva, seeing as that is more available to people worldwide than perhaps Photoshop might be. So, but there we go. If you have any other questions to do with self-publishing or anything else to do with the writing process or anything at all, please post them in the comments below. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, because it genuinely helps my channel. And this is something that I wanted to try for myself this year, to see whether or not I could help encourage people like you to live like I do. Namely, getting up when I want, going to bed what I want, and working when I want through the day. I'm entirely my own boss, and I really love it. And I make enough money from my work to have a very comfortable living. So I want to see that happen for you too. So yeah, hit like and subscribe, check some of my previous videos, and check for the ones that are coming up, because there'll be more in-depth information in the next ones coming along. In the meantime, hug the ones you love, my friends, and yeah, we shall see you in the next video. Bye.